Hello, it's recording. I'm Cynthia Akarachi and I have Jeff Ackerman here. And we're going to talk about iHeRQles and Liquid Gold. Liquid Gold is the company that is been around for the public for only a year and a half. And Jeff was lucky enough to study with the research scientists that have been doing this for 30 plus years or so. And Jeff came in about the last 5 years to find people that are terminally ill and to do their blood labs for the science team. And so he got to work directly with the science team. And I have a couple important questions for Jeff right now about the terminally ill type people that have high inflammation markers or and struggling with their health. So first, though, I want Jeff to explain a little bit about these doctors and the science team and how they've been doing this study and a little bit about Jeff, of course. So thank you, Jeff, for your time.
Thanks. Great to be here. Yeah, so I worked with natural doctors for the last 20 years, and I was always working with the latest and greatest technology, trying to obviously live healthier longer. And about 5 years ago, I was introduced to a science team, and I was only introduced because one of my best friends married the daughter of the only science team member in this country. And he explained to me this team was put together in the 70s. And the reason they were put together is because the wealthiest people on the planet, they, for themselves and their families, they want to live a disease-free life, and they want to live as long as they can possibly live. These people control the wealth of the world. So they put this team together in the 70s. They took the top scientists of the time, and they put them together with a mission. They had experienced in Europe the Black Plague, which killed 50% of the population, Spanish flu, which killed over 50 million people, and World War I, where they used chemical weapons on their people. So they had major atrocities that they could study, and that's why we have what we have today. So I want you to understand, first of all, science teams out there that are creating products right now to take to the market to sell, this is marketing BS. That's what it is. They design something for companies to go make money. When you lose 50% of the population, the wealthiest people in the governments of the time, they don't really care about making money. They care that the human race continues. So first of all, where this is coming from is completely different. These people were motivated to save their lives and the people in their families and loved ones. That's what they put the team together. They gave them 400 years of research on plants. So you can imagine the top herbologists on the planet having unlimited money and unlimited access to data. That's what we're talking about, guys. Now you look at the top doctors in the world that understand if the body is given what it needs, the body can cure anything, not the food, the body does it. And the body does it better than any outside influence. Otherwise, guys, we could just eat carrots and our body would get rid of stuff. No, what you have to have optimal health is healthy blood. The size of your red blood cell is pertinent to your health. If you have a condition, I can show you in your blood that the red blood cell is not being produced consistently and the size of it is off. Everyone that has a condition has that issue. If your red blood cell is not being produced the way it should be, it will never carry the nutrition to your cells like it's supposed to, and you will never get toxins removed from the cells. I don't care how much money you spend on the latest and greatest juices or herbs or whatever, if you don't produce healthy red blood cells, it'll never happen. And so this is the major problem with what we've been trying to do in the natural realm for the last 75 years. Health statistics continue to get worse, not better. Well, fortunately, this team, because of the research and development they've done since the 70s, they understand exactly what food is used for. Food is used to make better blood in the body. And the only way you can make better blood is to have raw, natural, and varied. And when I see natural, that means zero synthetics and zero contamination. So they understood that the best foods are garlic, turmeric, black cherry, red raspberry, anise, things like this. That's the top 20% of the healthiest foods on the planet. And they took it a step further because obviously when we eat these foods, our body's not using the whole food like a celery. It's only looking for the best parts of that. So to build a platform to discover the best parts of these plants, we're 30 to 40 years ahead of any team on the planet. So you take these best parts out and then you put them in combinations. The combination that we have is a 1 in 150 million different variables. And if it's not correct, it doesn't work. So it's not like you can goof it. It has to be done correctly. So what happens is when you have these best parts of these best plants, you spray it into your body, immediately the cells recognizes it and it bypasses digestion, because digestion is one of the biggest tolls on the body. If you have something that's terminal, you don't have enough time to eat the right food and you don't have enough energy to digest it all. So they bypass the digestion system by creating the extraction model. Now there's a major difference between the extraction model of this versus taking extracts of vitamin C or different vitamins. See, in this country or in around the world, when you take out these extracts and make them in a petri dish, this is called in vitro. The body doesn't understand it. So long term, the body begins to reject it because it's not food. Food is the only thing that the body will continue to eat and not reject. So what we needed to do is we needed to create something that's in vivo. And what that means is if I take a plant out of the ground, that plant has the perfect amount of nutrients, vitamins, and minerals in that plant, and I eat it, that's in vivo. Or if I eat an animal that consumes the plant, that's also in vivo. The body sees it as food. So it takes this food and it starts building blood. So the better the food, the better the blood. So that's exactly what this team did. This is in vivo. So when you spray it in your mouth, immediately it goes into the blood, the cells recognize it, and your blood actually explodes when you're eating to absorb this nutrition. Now your liver picks up this nutrition and it communicates to the bone marrow to produce healthier blood. And this is where you get better red blood cell production. Now with better red blood cell production, your blood is designed to go clean all the cells of the body. And the immune system is designed to keep cancer at bay, kill viruses and pathogens, and correct whatever's going wrong in the body. There is nothing that you can do that is going to be better than your immune system. Nothing. People keep thinking they can take this or they can take that. No, that is not going to do it better than the immune system, guys. All right. And when the immune system beats a virus or a cancer, it produces memory cells. So now you can't get it again because of the memory cells, it kills it on contact. That is always better than anything that you could do from the outside. It just makes sense. So everybody's out running around spending all this money, wasting their time because they're not getting to the source, and the source is better blood. Your blood is the key. So that's what we have.
Well, it's so exciting to hear it. I could hear it over and over and over, and I just get excited, and I just keep spraying every day and waiting for the day where I can get to just the daily dose of 4 sprays a day, which is once you have the microcirculation open in your body, you can just maintain your blood being clean with just 4 sprays. So
absolutely. And so why is this important? It's important because the food that we're eating now, even if it's organic, the water and the soil is contaminated. Monsanto's, they proved it with Monsanto's, the herbicides, pesticides, all of this garbage. Well, what happens when poison enters the bloodstream? Immediately, the microcirculation closes to protect the blood from getting to the cell, because that poison in that blood would kill the cell, which would then kill you. So this creates inflammation. And because we eat every single day, it continues to build until all of a sudden you have a major problem. So it's like a bee sting. Bee stings you, inflammation sets in to hold the poison from moving. Then the immune system comes in because the inflammation says, hey, you need to come clean this up. The immune system cleans it up, gets rid of the poison, opens up the microcirculation, and now you have healthy blood going to the cell again. Over time, because of our food being contaminated, this continues this process of building up all this garbage. We call it stagnant waste. So now that you're getting the right food with no poisons, the body produces healthy blood. It cleans that garbage out with the immune system, and now the system's open. So you see the inflammation marker drop. which means the microcirculation's open again. This is what age reversal is all about, because when the system's open and clean, now the body can push out old cells quicker, and the body produces new, younger cells with longer telomeres. Okay, so we've all heard about the stem cell labs, which, by the way, at the beginning of COVID, they received a cease and desist order because so many people were dying from stem cells. When you take your own stem cells out of your body, it is no longer in the same environment. And you put those stem cells back into the body, the immune system attacks it. It's no longer you. And so even if it's your own stem cells, it will not do what you're expecting, because now it becomes a foreign invader. The only way you can benefit from stem cells is when your bone marrow produces it itself. And the only way it will do this is to first clean out the microcirculation with the immune system and get your blood perfectly normal so you have no problems. Once your immune system has established that, now the body will produce younger cells with longer telomeres at the end of the DNA. And we have a test from teleyears.com documenting not 2 years age reversal, but I'm talking 10, 15, 20, 30 years age reversal. Nobody on the planet has that kind of result. And teleyears, all they do is a DNA blood test to tell you how old you are. You can do whatever you want to do under the sun, send your blood to them, and they're going to tell you if it's working. And so far, nothing out there is working except for this technology. This is the real holy grail.
Yeah, it's so with this, you just talked about the stem cell, and I heard you say that a lot of places are being shut down because of would you say what the stem cell program is?
Yeah, they got cease and desist orders because people were dying. You know, people were going blind, they're injecting them in people's eyes, and they're losing their eyesight because this is no longer part of your body. This
Right.
is something foreign to the body, and the body attacks it. So that is the wrong direction for people to go in.
Okay, so we're trying to keep time. I just had this one question from somebody. It says, how does this iHeRQles help with chronically ill person approaching cellular cascade breakdown? How does everything you just said help this person?
Right. So any condition that you have, like I explained, I can look at the blood work and I can see that your red blood cell is not being produced correctly. So if the red blood cell is not being produced right, it's not going to carry nutrition to your cell, and it's not going to remove toxins from the cell. So if your cell is not getting blood flow, do we understand what happens to the body when it doesn't get blood flow? It begins to die. This is why people have a heart attack. The microcirculation is closed, meaning they're not getting fresh blood to that part of the heart, so it dies. It's gone. So the only way you can benefit is by getting fresh, new blood that's healthy to carry nutrition and go clean out that toxic and waste out of that area and open up the microcirculation. Now the cell is able to get fresh blood and it's able to get back to its normal self. This is the way the body cleans itself out. And that's the only way it cleans itself out. There's no foreign way to fix that. You hear about people that have these microcurrent technology or frequencies, which I've worked with for years. All you're doing when you're trying to get the vascular system open like that is forcing it open so dirty blood can get to your cell. Does that sound like that's good long term?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Now, the technology I was using, it is a vasodilator, but the purpose of it was for injuries because we could heal injuries much faster. But could I give people better nutrition so the blood could get in there and clean the cells out? Of course not. So even with my technology, I was using the blood that was already in the body, and that blood wasn't optimal. So now with this technology, the blood is so much healthier because it's being produced correctly, and your blood has the ability to reverse everything. And so the results are absolutely astronomical on, healing injuries for sure.
Okay, so when basically the iHeRQles is a substitute for basically everything that we think that is traditional medicine, Western medicine, even supplements. iHeRQles can replace that, because I noticed that I'm already off some of my supplements. I don't need them. My body doesn't respond much to them anymore. So this is just a way to, as your body gets better and better, is the only thing you really need to stay healthy, is what you're saying.
Well, yeah, and think about it. If you have an issue, then when you put something in the body that's not recognized by the body, you're causing more of an issue. Okay. If I take oil and I'm dumping it in my race car, but I've got water over here and I want to dump it in with the oil, which would be my vitamin, right? Is my race car going to be worse or better? No, it's going to be worse. So anything that you're adding is going to be less than what the body's doing on its own. For example, if I give you a handful of vitamins, or if I go grab a plant out of the ground and I hand you that plant, which one's going to have the perfect amount of nutrients with vitamins and minerals? The plant or the handful of pills that we have no clue what the body thinks of it? The plant. It makes sense. It's the exact amount and exactly what the body needs. So when people really start to think about this, they'll understand, okay, that makes a lot more sense. If I grab a plant out of the ground and I eat it, it's better than throwing a bunch of pills in my mouth made by a guy that has, or a woman that has no idea how much of this or that's supposed to be in that darn thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
They have
Yeah.
no clue.
Okay.
So this is what you're talking about. So anything you do outside of making better blood is going to be worse for your body, not better.
Okay.
And so, yeah, why would you take vitamins when your body's going to produce better blood with getting the right food out of this technology? That's the key.
Right. So
hopefully that sounded okay.
No, it does make sense, but it's just hard when we've been programmed to take vitamins and supplements that we need. You know, you're told for, you know, this,
Right.
that.
And the reason why is because we know the soil is depleted, so we're not getting all the best nutrition in our food in this country. But when you go to our source where there is no contamination in the soil and you are getting all the nutrients from the soil, now you're getting the best of everything. And so that's the difference. We've been sold on, hey, we don't get enough good stuff out of our food, which we don't. So take these vitamins, but really the vitamins, they can't prove anything. And that's why doctors don't recommend them, because they can't prove in blood that the vitamins are doing anything. You know, you ask any doctor and they're going to say, well, you know, there's studies that say this or that, but we don't have any real proof. And that's true. There is no real proof that vitamins do anything.
Okay. So, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop here, unless there's anything else you want to say, just to keep the video short, and so that it's easily digested. There's a lot of information in a short amount of time. And I know that I'm feeling better getting this in me. I definitely have a testimony of reducing inflammation pretty quickly, 68% of inflammation in 33 days. So that was, to me, this is, I know it works. So I just wanted to share with others how and why it's working, because it's new science. Not many people know about this. So anything else to add for what's going on with iHeRQles?
I think that's, you know, the bottom line. If you want to have better health and you want to have the opportunity to reverse your age, then you got to give the body what it needs so that the body can do its job. And remember, this is just the right food. The body's doing everything, and the body will always do it better.
Yeah, the body knows.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, the body knows.
That's right.
It's definitely a really, it's really cool. I'm amazed, fascinated, and just super grateful that this fell into my life at this time, because been searching for, because I struggle with inflammation, I've been searching for a couple decades now to find a way to just keep that inflammation down. I've been able to get it down, but it'll go back up. And the reason why is what he was just explaining is the poisons, the foods, whatever, increases inflammation, and you don't feel good when you have inflammation. That's the root of all disease. So this is exciting. This is super exciting. So thank you, Jeff, for your
Absolutely.
time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, and if those that are watching this video, if you have any questions, just put a comment in below, because I'll probably be sharing it if it passes our what do you call those, regulations.
That's right.
So as long as we don't claim anything, which we didn't, we're just sharing how eating the right food or spraying plant-based food into your mouth can change your body, which changes your health. So with that,
Absolutely.
thank you guys. Appreciate you, Jeff, and we'll see you in another video. How's that?
Sounds great. You're
All right.
looking great. Thanks, girl.
Thank you.
Take care.
I'm excited.
Yep.